What's up, guys? Today I'm going to be showing you a little bit of my track The Beginning from the Beginning EP, which just came out. I'm just going to walk through a bit of it, and if anything catches you along the way that you want me to answer any questions about, I can do that in a second episode. Please forgive the loud noises outside my apartment. It's kind of hard to schedule this around kids playing. So anyway, um, I will play a bit of it for you and talk about some different things that I did in this song. Alright, so that's all I will show you for now. First thing I want to mention is this this like string pad kind of thing that I have in the intro. That's a built-in Ableton synth called Analog, and I actually will put these all together in one preset kind of and put that in the description. So you can, if you're using Ableton 8, I don't know if it works with 9. If you have 9, try it, and if it doesn't work, let me know. But yeah, I'll put this in there. Just is a pretty nice little sound that I made. And then actually later on, I copied it and then changed the envelope a little bit for the amplitude envelopes. And so I got, so this is the first sound. Sorry. And then I modified it, and then it turned into this. So I wanted to kind of retain some similar qualities of it, but make it a little bit more percussive. And then I just changed the chord so it's, you know, it's in a lower octave than this. Yeah, so that's that. And then there's this lead sound too that I made, an operator. It sounds like this. I'll put that one in the description too, so you can get those. And then the main thing here is the vocals, which is something I'm going to be doing a lot more of. People are asking me to do that, so I'm going to keep doing that. Yeah, so it's just 3 different tracks for this part. So I'll just play that.
I feel it's the beginning of this life we should have had.
So it's just like a main lead vocal, and then there's a vocoder vocal, which has a different it's a different melody, and then a high vocal, which sounds really bad by itself, but when you layer it with the other 2, it sounds good. And yeah, this is a little bit messy here. I could have tightened this up a little bit with the breathing, with that, but when you're kind of in the flow of things, some of those kind of things don't really, you can't even really hear it anyway. But I think if I had heard that before, I probably would have fixed it. But yeah, some of those things, you know, like when you're just in the flow of production and you're not trying to like fix things, you're just trying to get in the zone and just get stuff done. It's easy to do that, and sometimes, you know, you sometimes have 2 of something random and you're like, what the heck? I don't even know why I did that. But it just happens. So sometimes I'll find stuff when I'm doing these videos where it's like, whoa, I don't even know what that's for, but I put that in and it's there, so whatever. But just kind of how it is when you're in the zone with tracks. What the heck is going on here? Oh. Anyway, all right. So the next thing I wanted to show you guys is the drums. This is more of like a, it's not really disco, but it's like 80s kind of style, and so it required more of a real drums kind of a sound, you know, like more acoustic drums. So I used Contact to do this fill here, and then that brings it in with the percussion here, which sounds like this. So I just recorded some hi-hats. You know, Contact has some cool drum kits, so I just did that, layered a couple of them together just to give it some wideness without having to use effects to widen it. Usually it's easier just to do a couple different takes with different sounds, and then it comes out good. This is just a built-in Ableton sample hi-hat. Actually, I lied. That's actually a Vengeance hi-hat. Okay, so yeah, that's you know, the hi-hats do a lot actually for motion with tracks. A lot of different genres, hi-hats do a lot of work for keeping the energy going. You know, that upper sounds like hi-hats and noise do a lot for energy. So like when you're bringing in a new section, obviously crashes or white noise. I have both of those things in this, not in this part right here, but later on here I have white noise. And yeah. So let's see. Oh, I'll go through the bass. The bass is actually like a Contact bass too. It's this one here. If we can open it. Come on. It's taking a little bit. Yeah, so it's this Scarby Rickenbacker, which I love that bass anyway. And it just has a really cool tone. So play that. So I just found that felt really good with the drums. Just getting these two mixing in. So let's see what I have on here. I have a compressor here, which is just like really evening out the tone and the volume, because sometimes with like acoustic instruments, even if they're sampled, and like I played this on my keyboard, so it's varied a little bit, but it's good to get bass sounds to be really like consistent, because then you'll lose energy when like you'll hit a quieter note, and then the energy level will go down. And you just want to keep that bass energy like consistent, regardless of how loud it is. Just the energy needs to be consistent. And then I did a EQ here, which is just kind of like slowly rolling off the bottom, and then just carving a little bit out right here. And then I think I have another. Yeah, nothing. Yeah, see, this is one of those things where I pressed a button and nothing's going on. But yeah, so that's just EQ for that. And then I did a saturator, which just adds a little bit of extra like bite to it. And then there's some reverb on it, which just makes it feel like it's more in a space. Yes, that's the bass. I've got another bass too here. That's just kind of like a 80s kind of chuggy bass. I have the lows rolled off on that, so they're not conflicting. So they just kind of, I have a nice little groove together with those two in the percussion. Okay, got some high strings here. Just add some good atmosphere kind of stuff. And then in this breakdown here, I have this ARP.
Secrets that we made.
Just kind of like a wispy kind of a sound, just kind of there. It just adds some nice dimension. That's the thing with like breakdowns is it has to have some, some dimension that's different from the rest of the track. And if you can do kind of like washy sounds or things that are just kind of like, psychedelic kind of things, that adds a lot of cool character. So that's kind of all I had to share with you guys for this one. Let me know if you want me to cover anything else in this, if you hear anything or you see anything that you want me to cover. Also, if you're just getting into dance music production, I have a course out called Mastering the Art of EDM, and I will put a link to that in the description too. I'm going to be talking about that a lot in my videos just because it's a resource that I have for people who are getting into this and want a place to start that kind of can get you covered with all the basics, from making tracks, from making sounds, all the way to mastering and promotion. So you can check that out. Put that in the description. Also going to have annotation. You can click that too. That'll take you right to the site. So, all right, guys, enjoy. I'll see you next time.